everybody on YouTube, this is Super Nintendo, and welcome to another rant video where I am going to be ranting on the versus debating community and the stupidity of many of its members. Now, I am I really love debating versus matches. I think it's really fun figuring out who would win. Like for example, just off of the top of my head, first arc Goku in Dragon Ball versus first arc Naruto. Now, many of you people would probably say, oh, Goku would win, Naruto. But there are so many people who only look at one side of the debate. And if you don't know, in actual debates, or at least this is how I was taught about it in school, you're supposed to learn both sides of the argument, but argue for one side. So that way you don't come off as a biased prick. You're supposed to learn both sides and then pick a side. You don't just say like, okay, for example, I'm a big Dragon Ball fan. This is very evident in one of my previous videos where I got the complete Dragon Ball series minus Dragon Ball Super and Dragon Ball Z Kai, and the remaining movies I still have to get. But at first glance, you might say that I would argue Dragon Ball over Naruto because I have a lot more Dragon Ball than I do Naruto. And honestly, for the most part, I do, but I'm not a biased Dragon Ball fanboy. I know for a fact that Dragon Ball characters are more powerful than Naruto characters in terms of speed, strength, destructive capability, durability, whatever. But Naruto characters are way better at strategy and they have more diverse of techniques than Dragon Ball characters do. Because when you look at the Dragon Ball characters, what do? They punch, they kick, they shoot energy blasts, and they transform. That's basically all they do. I mean, look, like, Future Trunks buffed himself up into Ultra Super Saiyan, or whatever, in Dragon Ball Super, and then slimmed himself down, and Vegeta was like, oh my god, such a genius maneuver. Really? That's the genius maneuver? That's a genius maneuver. That really? Even the smartest of the Dragon Ball characters is an idiot compared to Dragon Ball Dragon Ball characters, even the smartest of them are idiots compared to Naruto. I mean, look at Naruto. He was able to come up with a multi-phase plan without talking to Sasuke, and Sasuke was like, yeah, I got you, bro, and able to go with it. Dragon Ball characters would not be able to do that. And the type of thing that I'm debating, that I was getting frustrated with, is I was arguing with some people online the other day, and apparently, spoilers for Dragon Ball Super, but apparently Goku may be teaching Super Saiyan Blue to Caulifla and Kale in the future. And I was like, well, okay, at least we might be able to learn more about Super Saiyan Blue, because all we really know about it is what Goku said in the Universe 6 tournament. Super Saiyan Blue is the combination of strength, a calm mind, and perfect key control. And 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 even then, the calm mind thing has been contradicted with the Goku Black Saga. There were a couple of times, at least one time, where Goku rages out, and I'm like, yeah, no. If Super Saiyan Blue requires a calm mind in order to be in it, then when Goku raged out, he should have been booted out of Super Saiyan Blue. You know? You cannot be angry and have a calm mind. You just can't. In fact, anger is pretty much the antonym to calm. It's the opposite. You can't, like, sad and happy, like, you can't have the two of them. You can't be sad and happy at the same time. You can be sad and crying, or you can be happy and crying and sad and crying, but you can't be happy and sad at the same time. Like, okay, bad example, but you can't be shit. You can't I don't know how to explain it, but as someone with massive anger issues himself, I know for a fact you cannot be angry and calm at the same time. You just can't. So, calm mind out the fucking window. And some people have pointed out that Super Saiyan Blue requires that you have Super Saiyan God or training from a deity in order to get. Also incorrect. First off, Goku is the only one we've seen that ever has Super Saiyan God, and even then, he can't use it anymore. So if it was a combination of Super Saiyan God, how did he get it again? No, seriously. How does he have Super Saiyan God again? In the anime, it's never shown that he can ever tap into Super Saiyan God ever again. Super Saiyan God is converted into his base form. All that power. And as for training with a deity, we didn't know what the fuck was going to happen. Seriously, look at his expression when he tells Goku and Vegeta to hold their ki within themselves and fight so that their opponent can't sense their rise in power. When they clash and the Super Saiyan Blue aura starts spilling out of them, he didn't know what the fuck was going to happen. He was just as surprised as them. So you can't even argue that was intentional. It was a happy fucking accident. And even then, they didn't even achieve the form until they were in his staff. Which, he still didn't know what the fuck was happening. Yeah, no, and like some people have argued that, like, oh, you can put the energy in, like, it's implied that when they were in his staff that they absorbed the God energy. How the fuck does that translate to being a Super Saiyan God? Just because you have God energy absorbed into you doesn't make you a Super Saiyan God. Super Saiyan God is a transformation. Are you going to try to tell me that if Goku has the golden aura around him, but he doesn't have the golden hair or the green eyes, that he's a Super Saiyan? No! He is not a Super Saiyan if he does not have the golden hair and green eyes with the golden aura. He might be a variation of Super Saiyan, but he is not a fucking Super Saiyan. And I'm gonna move away from that topic, but go to another one, and that's when the debating community fucking lies to you about what a character is capable of. Now, if you are a debater yourself, you might have seen some stuff like this. One Punch Man can one punch anything because he's a parody character or a gag character, and that's the whole point of his series. And it's actually called One Punch Man, so you'd think he'd be able to one punch anything. Or Superman, his purpose is to never lose, so he's unbeatable. He has limitless power because Screwtax said so. Blah 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 blah. Learn the character for your fucking selves, you fucking retards. Okay. I personally, when I do a debate, when I do a versus match, which I haven't done on YouTube yet because I want my first one to be a one that you wouldn't really expect. I could very easily do Goku versus Superman on my YouTube channel, but that would be too easy for a first death battle. Same thing with One Punch Man versus Goku, or Goku versus Naruto. I want to do one that you don't expect. So, I'm sorry that's taken so long, but I want to do one that you wouldn't expect. So I'm still trying to take my time with that. Secondly, I research everything about each character that I debate. If I don't know anything about a character, I don't debate it, because I'm not a biased prick. And if this character has multiple incarnations, I learn everything about every incarnation before debating it. Excuse me. Excuse me. That was both painful and annoying. Half of that was really just me pausing from the pain, and then I had to pause because I was about to sneeze. Anyway, so like, if I debated Superman in anything, I have to learn every incarnation of Superman and every feat of Superman of every Superman that has ever existed, canon-wise. That way, if by some miracle I want to do a composite version versus a composite version, just for the hell of it, I know what Superman's strengths are throughout his entire career. And I know all of his weaknesses as well. And you might be thinking, oh, Superman's limitless. He doesn't have no weaknesses. Really? Kryptonite. He died from Doomsday. And on top of that, he got knocked out from a supernova. You people who argue these characters are limitless are fucking retards who don't know what the hell you're talking about. Get the hell out of here. You know? This kind of shit really pisses me off. Because, personally, I don't debate for the same reason that other people do. I don't debate just to piss people off or to pick a side of the argument. I debate to find a definitive answer to who would win. It's not fucking rocket science. And because these characters are in fictional universes, I don't bring up real life things to help argue this. I don't say, oh, Goku moving faster than light is because different universes have different properties. Just like, for example, if Superman were to go to Goku's universe, there's no guarantee he'd be able to absorb the energy of Goku's son the same way he would from his own. There's no guarantee that would work. For instance, it's highly implied that everything in the Dragon Ball universe is made up of ki. Their type of energy. Because he can absorb the energy of the fucking sun. It's never said anywhere that he can convert it. And even if that was what he was doing, he can convert solar energy into ki. Into energy that he can use to fight people. Even if that was what he was doing. It's never been confirmed. But if that is the case, then yes, maybe Superman could absorb solar radiation from Goku's sun. But if it's just made up of energy, then no, he couldn't do it. You see what I mean? Like, for example, Superman going to a different universe and fighting, say, Ultraman. Blue kryptonite weakens Ultraman. So that must mean that on Ultraman's version of Krypton, it wasn't green K that destroyed his planet. It was blue K. What does blue K do to normal Superman? I honestly don't remember. Like, I haven't debated Superman in a while, but I honestly don't remember what the fuck blue kryptonite does to normal Superman. In fact, let me look that up just to prove a point. Okay. According to this, blue kryptonite has had multiple different uses in multiple different continuities. Blue kryptonite in the comics is basically just green kryptonite to Bizarro. Okay. Also, in Smallville, it heals him and lessens his weakness to green kryptonite, and somehow can purify water. You see what I mean? Different universes have different fucking effects from characters from another universe. And, so, like, same thing with Goku versus Naruto. Goku does not have chakra. So, Genjutsu, unless it is specifically a Genjutsu that can work on beings without kryptonite, or not kryptonite. I'm mixing it together, different arguments. That shows you how pissed off I am. Chakra, unless it can work on someone who does not have chakra, or specifically a person who can force their chakra into another person, like Itachi, to act like a Genjutsu or whatever, then that shit won't work. But there are so many fucking people who don't understand this. You know, it's just really, it gets me so fucking angry that people don't understand this. You know, perfect example. Full Metal Alchemist, in the 2003 version of the show, he goes into a parallel universe at the end. And in that other universe, alchemy doesn't exist. Right there. Alchemy does not exist in that parallel world. Definitive proof that things work differently in other universes. It's kind of the same thing as going to another planet, you know? Go, like, Superman. If Superman was on his own planet and he was powerless, but then he goes to Earth and he has superpowers, it's kind of the same thing as going to another universe, only on a much more erratic scale. You know, like, maybe this other universe has stronger gravity. Maybe there's a different kind of sun. Maybe there's no sun at all. And you know, different universes have different properties. So unless absolutely necessary, I'm not going to interject real life phenomena into a fictional universe. You know, I could analyze realistically Sonic the Hedgehog. But when you get right down to it, it's a series about a 3'3" or 3'6" hedgehog, depending on which Sonic you're going with, fighting a egg-shaped robot with the help of his two-tailed technical genius Fox and his rival best friend fucking person, a red echidna with spiky knuckles, Lego shoes, who can glide with the power of dreadlocks. And this blue hedgehog seems to really love chili dogs. At first glance, if I describe it like that, you might think I'm on fucking acid. That's because real life shit doesn't work with Sonic the Hedgehog. You know? It's just, wow. And Mario makes even less sense. He can jump on lava. Lava makes him bounce. He can go into space without a fucking spacesuit. And he's a fucking human. Oh my god. This is getting hilarious now, but yeah, like, you can't fucking add in real life phenomena and rules to fiction. You just can't. Unless the series is portrayed as super realistic to a significant degree. In Dragon Ball, how many times has Bulma been in danger only to be perfectly fine? Like seriously? I think I'm on episode 4 or 5 of the original Dragon Ball, and already shit has happened to a point where, if she was in a real life universe, yeah, she would have died. So, yeah, and also in debating community, there are those people who try to add in or take away abilities to characters just to make it more fair or interesting in a death battle. I have no problem with you wanting to make it more interesting, but when you take away one of the powers that is essential to the fucking character, then I have a problem. Like Ichigo. I've been in so many fucking versus debates where they try to argue, where they take away Ichigo's ability as a Soul Reaper to be invisible and intangible to people without spiritual pressure. A specific type of energy that no other fucking series has. And it might be like, oh, well, that just makes him too OP, or for the sake of a versus match, we need to take those away to make it more fair. Yeah, I get it. I get why you do it. But you still can't fucking do that. That's like taking away Spider-Man's spider sense just to make it more fair. You can't fucking do that. That's one of his powers. You just can't fucking do that. Okay, you can like take away different gadgets for Batman or whatever. You can do that, but you can't you can't take away. You can't be like, oh, Superman versus Batman, but you take away his tactical intelligence. That's one of his fucking abilities. You can't fucking do that. You literally cannot fucking do that. It doesn't make any sense on any goddamn level to do that. Like, you literally fucking can't. You know, it just makes no goddamn sense. That's one of his abilities. You can't... You're not doing a proper versus debate unless you take a character as they are. And another thing is like they're like, okay, well, Goku versus Ichigo. Goku can see souls and whatnot. Okay, but does he have spiritual pressure? No, he does not. So he would not be able to see Ichigo. And they're like, well, Ichigo in his soul reaper form is basically just a soul. Yeah. But they fucking say in the show and in the manga that you need spiritual pressure in order to see them and touch them. It doesn't matter if you can already see souls. Normal people in the Dragon Ball universe can see souls. Hell, Goku came to Earth for a day, and everybody was able to see him, despite the fact that he's basically just a fucking soul. Oh my god. You know, it's really fucking retarded. It really is that people do this. And like I said, I understand why they take away Ichigo's Soul Reaper powers. Because they wouldn't be able to have a fight if they didn't. But that's still one of his fucking powers. You cannot take away one of a character's powers just to make it a more even fight. You know, it's like... And I'm fully aware that basically no other series has spiritual pressure, so that means Ichigo would be able to one-shot pretty much anyone from any universe. I'm fully aware of that. But if that's how it is, that's how it is. You can't argue against that. You know? Like, Goku versus Ichigo. Goku is more powerful, yes. But he can't do shit to Ichigo. In his Soul Reaper form. He can't do shit to him. And like, I've seen other people try to argue like, oh, well, if he is a Soul Reaper, then he shouldn't be able, if you don't have spiritual pressure, then he can't touch or interact with anything in the real plane that doesn't have it. No, that's not how that fucking works. Was it the episode where they introduced Cone into the series? The one where Ichigo gets Cone and like Cone goes into his body and starts causing a bunch of fucking problems. Ichigo kicks Cone across the room at his school, Cone kicks Ichigo through the room, and and a bunch of fucking, what is it? A bunch of deaths go like spreading out because he's like flying into them. They're moving and nobody is fucking knowing why. He can interact with anything. He can interact with them. They can't see or touch him. There's a big difference there. Like kind of like the argument of I didn't kiss this girl, she kissed me, you know? It's that kind of fucking argument, you know? It's just really fucking retarded. Think of it like this. In Transformers Prime, you know, the three kids get set into what they call a shadow zone, a alternate plane of existence where they are basically invisible to everyone in the real world, so they're able to phase through them. It's kind of the same thing with Ichigo. He's basically on another plane of existence, in a parallel universe, so to speak, where he is still able to see everyone in the real world, but they cannot see him. However, every other thing, like say landscape and terrain, inanimate objects, they can still interact with. You know, it's that kind of fucking thing. That fucking hurts. You know? So, basically, I think I've rambled on long enough, but that's basically what it kind of is. If you're gonna do a versus match, try to do it intelligently, please. And like I'm not even trying to be like a boss, like this is how versus debates work and whatnot. Even though that is how they fucking work, there's not really much of a rule in versus matches, aside from if it's a 1v1, they aren't allowed to like get outside help and whatnot. Like if it's Superman versus Goku isn't allowed to bring in any other people. Like Goku would not be allowed to use the fucking Spirit Bomb or Fusion or whatever if in a 1v1 versus match with no outside help, because the Spirit Bomb requires outside help in order to use. Every piece of positive energy is voluntary. He can take it by force, but in order to get the most energy possible, they need to willingly give up the energy. You know? Kind of the same thing with Kirby versus Majin Buu. You can't have Kirby be able to absorb a fuck ton of his own enemies just to fight Buu. You know? That is outside help. You know, I don't fucking know. I'm gonna go lay down because my back is starting to hurt even more. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.